All right, folks, so now I'm going to walk through how I like to pack the Teratorn. And what's more important than how I like to pack it is the fact that it's so individually configurable. This is a pack you're going to have to spend some time with to learn how you like to pack it. So let me just go over in broad strokes. So this would be packed up for anything from like a 7-day to a 12-day hunt. So everything is fully loaded. I'm taking lots of extra gear. I've got trekking poles. I got my camp Crocs. I got my rifle loaded up for a big long hike. If I think there's a possibility that I'm going to run into an animal, I don't tend to carry my rifle like this. But when I'm on a sheep hunt or a goat hunt or something where I know, I could be as much as a day or two even from getting to where I could have a shot, this is how I like to carry my rifle. So I got lots of stuff. Now, let me go over some of the highlights because and yes, I've already triple checked this. There's nothing in the rifle and it's unloaded. So if the muzzle points at anything, you don't need to stress. So one of the things that I love about the Teratorn is the way that you can pack your rifle behind one of the wing pockets. Because one of the things I struggled with for a long time is getting one of those padded rifle scope covers. Most of them weigh at least a half a pound. And if you knew the thousands of dollars I have spent trying to lighten my load for like long backcountry hunts, and then to just go throw another half pound back on your system doesn't make any sense. So what I do is in this wing pocket, I carry really light puffy stuff that I'm gonna need access to quickly. So I'll carry a rain jacket, I'll carry my puffy jacket, anything that's soft and squishy. And then what that does is it gives me that protection for my scope and my rifle. So rifle goes on that side. Something else, these little loops here that are connecting my Crocs are actually meant for trekking poles that I'll get to on the other side. But I love using them for my Crocs because if you do long backcountry hunts, taking Crocs is a great idea. But every single time you will strap your whole backpack up, you'll be done. And then you'll look on the ground and you'll be like, shit, I still got to put my Crocs on. And then all your buckles are already tensioned the appropriate amount. What I love about this little strap is that it's completely independent. So you can just put your Crocs on, take it off. I also have something else I like to do on day hunts with that loop that I'll get to in a minute. So shock cord serves two purposes. One, it'll hold my seat and it's easy to get quick access to it when I go and I want my glassing pad. Also, I've got a molinator here. Depending on how long of a hunt that I'm going on, what I will also do, and this is what I did at the shoot to hunt course, is you can carry your molinator in this shock cord here, and then when you get to where you're going, if you need to take a quick shot, you throw your pack on the back and you have this beautiful rifle rest ready to go. This is probably pretty close to 10 or 11 ounces, so not something that I would take on a long like sheep or goat hunt. But next year, for guiding, this will be on my pack almost 100% of the time because when I'm with clients, we're only ever going in for a couple days, so a few extra pounds is not a big deal. And that way I can always throw my pack out and the client can take a shot. So shock cord is super handy. You can also mount more shock cord up here on the lid if you want to. Okay, so let's open up this side. I'll show you what I did here. So I do not use this top strap to loop in the gun because if I need to, I can just pull this out. So literally all I had to do was undo that one buckle and I can get my rifle out. So if I did have a fast shot opportunity, my rifle is ready to go at a moment's notice. I will tighten this bottom buckle, but not the top one. I just use the pocket itself. There's also extra stretchy sleeves on the back of these. You can chuck hat, mitts, anything you want. So now we come over to the other side. In this side, I keep my optics, my coffee mug, and some more squishy stuff. So that's just an argali pillow. This is a goat suit that we use in the winter, so you look like a goat. I got a pair of gloves, a beanie. This is my large size coffee mug. This is the one luxury item I take into the backcountry. I have a smaller version of this that's 500 mils. This one's 720. And then I have my spotting scope. Again, you will notice I have accessed a ton of gear and I have not touched the pack, okay? So nothing is strewn all out. I don't have a yard sale going on. Everything's still nice and tightly constrained. Now, if I come over on this side, I've got my tripod for glassing. And again, undo 2 buckles, this comes right out. I've got my poles for my shelter that I'm gonna get to in a second. And then again, you'll notice this second small strap up here keeps my trekking poles nice and constrained. The real genius of this pack is somewhat counterintuitive. A lot of people are gonna like one single large chamber. However, the way they've set it up is an upper chamber and a bottom chamber. And there's a zipped compartment divider here that you can open up if you want to. But I keep my entire sleep system in the bottom here. And let me tell you why this is brilliant. I also keep my first aid kit. Let me back up a second. Everything that is in the bottom compartment are things I want quick access to that I don't have to access the rest of the pack to get to. So when I hunt with people, I will tell them my first aid kit is in this pocket. As soon as you open the zipper, it's gonna be the first blue bag you see. That way, if I'm knocked unconscious, if I get a cut and lose consciousness, if anything happens that I can't communicate, they know where my first aid kit is. It's a good first aid kit. I've got a tourniquet, quick clot bandages, second skin, all kinds of fantastic stuff. I highly recommend too a dry bag for your first aid kits. So that's number 1. Number 2, this is a Z-Packs Dyneema shelter. This is a 7x9 shelter with 6 carbon fiber tent pegs and probably about 12 meters total of Dyneema cord. This entire package weighs 5.4 ounces. So anytime I want to stop, if it's pissing raining and I need to have a snack, if I want to make some coffee, if I'm going to be glassing and it's super sunny, I can get access to this without digging into the rest of my stuff. Now, most importantly, my entire sleep system is in here, except for my sleeping bag. So I have my shelter and my sleeping pad. And if you remember, the shelter poles were just shoved right in here. So a lot of times when you're on a hunt, it's pissing down rain, you get to where you're going, and you basically have to yard sale your bag because you've stuffed your shelter or your sleeping pad all the way at the bottom because it's the stuff you don't worry about getting crushed. This way, it's pissing rain, I show up, I literally open one pocket, undo one strap, I got my shelter, I got my poles, I set that up, I then take my sleeping pad, go into my shelter, inflate the sleeping pad, put it out, then I bring my pack into the shelter and I can slowly unpack everything as I want to, not worrying about everything getting wet. So this I love. However, if you don't, you can open this zipper and turn it into one large compartment. Now, as far as the lid goes, this is where I carry everything that I want in and out of all day. For me, it's usually a half a day's worth of food because I'll have already had breakfast, or I won't carry my dinner in here because lots of times I will leave dinner back at camp because I know I'm just going out to hunt for the day from camp. So I carry a half a day's worth of food, usually my little possibles kit. I will carry possibly some extra ammunition in the little part up front. And the last thing I always carry in here is my toilet paper and wet wipes. And then any other incidentals, like maybe a pair of sunglasses, maybe some lens wipes for my camera, like any small stuff, maybe my steri pen if I'm in an area where I'm constantly going to be filtering water. On that note, my favorite way to carry water is still the Nalgene in the EXO pocket. I love this thing. It's probably one of my favorite things about this pack. But there is a hydration bladder sleeve on this pack if you want to use it. That's waterproof, so you don't need to worry about if your bladder leaks, it getting onto all your gear. Also provides excellent protection from blood leaking out of your game bags while you're using the meat shelf into the rest of your pack. I did a ton of packing with this on the meat shelf this year for guiding. We killed 5 bears over 6 clients, and so I had a lot of opportunity to pack meat out on this. Still got openings for the rest of 25 and 26, so if you're interested in hunting BC or Alberta, hit me up, jay@mindfulhunter.com. I'm trying to think what else. Essentially then, you open the lid and you get full access to the main compartment. And this is where I carry everything else. My stove, my sleeping bag, my food, any other incidentals. You can also access this through the horseshoe zipper here. So if I tend to pack things every way the exact same time, and I will know where things are. Lots of times I'll have my stove here. So if I just want to make a quick cup of coffee, I can undo the zipper, bring out my stove, do what I need to do, stick it back in. So I do like having this access. I am not a big horseshoe access guy. I tend to go in from the top because if I'm going in here, I usually want quite a bit of stuff and I just don't like messing around with trying to get stuff out of little holes. There's a couple main points I want to drive home here. The reason I like this bag so much, like I said at the beginning, is that it's highly individualizable, meaning you can make this system your own. The other thing I like about it, after taking the Shoot to Hunt course with Form, I never realized how slow I was at getting ready to shoot. And so as soon as I came home, I started brainstorming ways that I could increase the efficiency of my system so that I can literally go from standing, fully packed, to prone, shooting sub 1 MOA groups at 100 yards in less than 10 to 15 seconds. And this system allows me to do that. The speed with which I can remove my rifle, also when I get to camp to get set up, the speed that I can set this stuff up with. Right, one last tip I wanted to share with you guys. So when I was guiding this season, or if you're going on any like 1 to 3 day hunts, these Helinox Chair Zeros are unbelievable. They really start to shine when you use image stabilizing binos because you don't have to sit right up on a tripod. You can just lean back in this chair and glass for hours. However, I was like, where do I stick these? Now, one nice thing, it does fit in one of the wing pockets, so you can fit it there. But the other thing I found that was super cool is that this fits perfectly on these two loops. So that's the other thing that I like to do if I'm on a hunt that's not going to be a long hunt and I'm not super concerned about weight. This is probably my favorite piece of gear from guiding bear this year. It was phenomenal. First year I've used it. Highly recommend it for those types of hunts and super cool. And see what I mean? Like, I guarantee Ryan or Form never thought, hey, let's put a couple loops here so some Yahoo from Canada can stick a Helinox chair on his backpack. But I can literally just set my backpack down. I don't have to take off a single strap, and literally in like 3 seconds, I've got access to my chair. So there you have it. That's how I like to pack my Teratorn. If you got any other questions, feel free to hit me up, jay@mindfulhunter.com.